Mike's hot, Tampa Bay, let's roll, it's game day. Rays on the diamond, bolts in the sky, Bucs on the goal line, Bulls ride or die. From the tailgate talk to the bright field glow, you know where to go. It's the JP Peterson Show.
All right, welcome in on a Thursday here on the JP Peterson Show. Thank you so much for joining us today. We got lots to get to today. News making already this morning. Boy, wait till you hear what Lane Kiffin said at SEC Media Days. Timmy, you are not going to believe it. You are not going to believe it.
Did it sound like a big fat fart when it came out of his mouth like everything else?
It was unexpected, so I don't know about that. It was very unexpected. We'll get to that in just a second. We got Rays, obviously, to talk about as their role continues. That's 3 straight against the Blow Jays, as Timmy likes to call them. We're getting some contributions from people other than the tremendous trio, as Big O likes to call them. By the way, Big O will join us at the end of the show here. And we'll also have a Big O show today with special guest Jason Michaels. 11 years in the big leagues, Tampa Jesuit graduate, University of Miami Hall of Fame. Another great product of baseball here in the Tampa Bay area. So we'll have that for you on the Big O show today. Lots of good stuff. We taped that on Tuesday, Timmy, and it's good. It's fun. It's a lot of great information.
Yeah, Jason's a wealth of knowledge, man.
He is good. I mean, and I just basically sat back and shut my mouth and let those two guys talk baseball, man. It's really, really good.
Try real hard not to hold it against him. He played for the Disastros. But
Yeah. He played for a few teams, but really, really smart guy. And we talked all kinds of good stuff, Rays, but also about development in baseball and, what's going on with travel teams and things like that, because he's into that now here in Tampa. So that's on our Big O show that's coming up at 12:30. We got lots to get to here. We got Rays. Obviously, we're going to hit on that. A lot of stuff happening in SEC Media Days. We'll get to Lane Kiffin here in the morning. John Summerall yesterday for the Gators left an imprint. Very much so. And broke the internet with one of his answers. So we'll get to that. There's a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. And we'll preview the Bucs skill players today. We did offensive line yesterday. The Bucs get started next week, and so we'll next week. Yeah, it's coming up quick. So we'll get to it here today. So thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys already in commenting. Remember, you could do that on YouTube. You could do that on X. You could do that on Facebook. We love you guys being a part of the show, big part of the show. So that's what we do each and every day. Here is the breaking news from Rick. Lane admitted he should be coaching at FSU. Yes, he did. He told the story I've been telling for a while. No, he did not. No, he did not. But it's a little tongue-in-cheek. He took the podium today. So much of Lane's life is grounded here in Tampa. His dad, obviously, Monty, was the defense coordinator for 13 years while Lane was growing up. And, so obviously Tampa's got a big part of him. His family has lived here for a long time. So it's the Kiffins are a big part of Tampa and Tampa Bay. So this is kind of a home game for him, but obviously in moving from Ole Miss and to LSU and at the end of the season in the playoff, it was an unprecedented situation. I thought it was interesting. Summerall said yesterday that he and Lane were chatting during the whole time during it, but he, famously was allowed to coach his team through the playoffs and bowl season, whereas Lane was not. Now, you can look at that, whether that was Ole Miss's fault or Lane's fault or however you want to litigate that. We don't need to relitigate that. I thought Lane got a bit of a raw deal for that because he did want to stay at Ole Miss, and they did not allow him to. And I totally understand those reasons as well. I think there were, great reasons on both sides. But what's done is done, and he moved on. What shocked me today was his diatribe on social media. A guy that has, owned social media for so long And I knew that he was off social media. I didn't know the whole story behind it, that his son Knox challenged him to get off of social media. And so we did. And not only did he get off social media in terms of posting, but then he deleted all the apps. So this morning, Lane gave a long and interesting soliloquy on why getting rid of social media is a wonderful thing. And a lot of his players are doing it. A lot of his friends are doing it. I wish I could do it, but it's kind of the backbone of what we do in our business.
That'd be kind of tough for us.
Yeah.
Which is I would love to.
Yeah. Trust me, when I retire, I will be gone from that. But it's just part of it's part of what we do now. So it's a big part of what we do. Obviously, our platforms are all over social media. So it's a necessary evil in a lot of different ways. But I thought it was really interesting to hear his perspective on how it's opened up his life, how we don't compare. One of the things if you're not on social media, you're not constantly comparing your life to everybody else's fake life on Instagram and everywhere else.
God.
You're not comparing your spouse. You're not comparing your living. You're not comparing your financial situation, which whether you want to or not, you're constantly doing if you're on social media because you see everybody's best life. Rarely does somebody get on there and go, listen to my shit day.
Right.
Listen to how bad my life is right now. So, I just thought that was super interesting. There wasn't much breaking news as far as, what's going on with Lane. There are a few gotcha questions in there, revolving around the Vanity Fair interview where he said something that has been obvious for a long, long time. And that is that, recruiting in Oxford at Ole Miss is hard. It has drawbacks. It has racial implications. They have, having to get rid of the Confederate flag and some of the old traditions of Ole Miss that died hard and were affecting recruiting. We're part of it, but still he felt like there was a stigma attached to it. And I think, you can obviously he did a great job. I mean, he recruited a lot of great players, a lot of great black players, and put a lot of people into the NFL, more than they've ever done. But there's no question that the opportunity to go to LSU was a better one. It just is. And he took it. It was clunky as it can get. Not all his fault. Listen, Lane Kiffin is a very complex character. I know I've known his family for a long time. I'm probably a lot more sympathetic towards him than most of you are. I think there's room for all of us to grow and mature through our lives. He'll be the first to admit what he did at Tennessee was wrong. USC, the Raiders, all of that stuff. I mean, he was the youngest head coach in the history of the NFL, and that did not work out well. And he's had a lot of personal growth over the years, and I think we should all give him grace in that time. And as we all have grown up over the years, and you don't stop growing up in your 20s or 30s. It's a lifelong quest for all of us. And if you're not growing and learning, even at my age, then you're probably not doing it right. So I happen to give a lot more grace for people in that way. And I think Lane's great for college football. I think he's a tremendously complicated and intelligent person. He's a tremendous coach. I wish we would have got him at FSU when we had the chance to do it twice, but we didn't. And I think he's must-see TV all the time. I think today was a very muted Lane Kiffin. And I don't know if there was, other than the social media stuff, there's a whole lot that came out of it. He did talk about, growing up. He said there were two people I thought would never die, my dad and Hulk Hogan. And he knew Hulk Hogan very well when he was growing up. So, these are your heroes, and that changes your perspective on life, right? It certainly does. So, nothing groundbreaking from Lane today, but it's going to be a fun season. And what was LSU? 7-6 last year? Is that correct? I think that's right.
Believe so.
Yeah. And Brian Kelly, my Lord, from the time he fake accented at the basketball game when he went, when he was named at the LSU coach. You just remember that, Timmy? We're just like, this is not. Well, he was named the head coach. We're like, Brian Kelly to LSU? What are we doing?
Not at all. I did not think he was an SEC fit at all.
Oh my God,
I don't think he's a good coach anyway. But and case in point, when all he did was complain about how he can't win a national championship at Notre Dame. I mean, I know Marcus Freeman hasn't won one, but he's contended.
Damn close. Close.
Way closer than Brian Kelly was ever going to get at Notre Dame.
No, absolutely. Yeah, fit is a must in college football. You got to get a guy that fits your culture, your fan base culture, and Brian Kelly was just never that. Never that. Just a terrible hire. But Lane's exactly what LSU needs. He's he's a brilliant offensive mind. He's a tremendous recruiter, and combined with the resources at LSU, I don't think I'm pretty sure it's not going to be this year, but he'll be there. They'll be there. They'll be a perennial playoff contender as long as Lane is there. And I think it'll always be good. It'll be good theater. No question about it. So John Summerall yesterday for the Gators had some fun moments. And I think just in talking to everybody over there and watching all the media, John Summerall is a commanding dude. He is a commanding dude. There's no question about it. When he walks and talks, you are on notice. He's edgy. He's a serious man. Showed some humanity, I think, in a lot of ways yesterday. He did say at one point that the thing he cannot control or doesn't like is bitching and whining and complaining. And then he also said he will not tolerate it with his team, but he can't get it out of his own house. that his kids are whining and complaining way too much. So I don't know if it's good to admit that, tongue in cheek, obviously, that you can't get it done in your house, but you hope to do it with 105 scholarship athletes or 95 scholarship athletes. So good luck with that, coach. Good luck with that, because in this day and age, that's going to be tough. But all jokes aside, I think if you're a Gator fan, it is a perpetual wait and see until you get a guy who can prove that he can, do this at the upper echelon like Steve Spurrier and Urban Meyer did it. It's always going to be the standard at Florida, and he's got to get there. Has he done the things and said the things that are right? Yeah, he's got an edge to him. There's no question about it. He's got an edge to him, just like Urban Meyer did, and in a different way, Steve Spurrier did. The dude has an edge. Could you say that about Napier? Probably not. Probably not. He was a more easygoing dude. So this is, you always go from whoever your coach is at one point, you flip to the next personality, right? Usually it's a diametrically opposed type personality. And, Napier was kind of a good old boy, laid back guy. And that's not what Summerall is. He is a very direct, intense, edgy dude. Case in point, I did believe this is the one where the phone went off. Timmy, let me play this one.
I'd say no two decisions are alike. Like Lane and I are friends, and Lane and I talked several times through the process of October, November about what it was looking like for both of our schedules of how things were going to unfold. And you'd be kicked out of our team meeting.
Yeah.
I swear. Like, you're lucky I'm not going to throw this freaking podium right now. Like, drives me crazy.
Valid.
I would say, who is that? But I'm not going to embarrass anybody.
Valid. I saw Tom Crean, got on social media and was like, whoa, dude, what are you doing, man? That guy's got a job. Don't embarrass. You were going to embarrass him. You're serious about this? And I was like, come on, coach. You got to expect better. Listen, you're in a press conference. And evidently the guy, somebody just left their phone there. Like, left the phone there with the ringer on. So, yeah, you couldn't hear it ringing, but it was ringing. And evidently it was obviously loud. You couldn't hear the mic pick up on it. But it was going off for a while. It wasn't like it went off once and somebody clicked it off. It was somebody else's phone. and the guy left the room. I mean, come on now. We got to be better than that. I tell you what, Timmy, I watched a lot while I was working yesterday, I watched a lot of the SEC. Boy, there were some stupid freaking questions. There were some really, really dumb questions. I mean, we got to be, as reporters, we got to be better. We have got to be better. The standard has got to be higher. You know, some guy asking, who was it? Which coach was it? I forget which coach it was, but some guy stand up and calling it nil. It's not nil, it's NIL. And asking him, does it work the same for football as it does for women's soccer and baseball? What? Like asking procedural questions about nil. You know, it's just, what? We got to be better.
What are we doing?
Yeah, we got to be better. But I thought Summerall acquitted himself very, very well. You know, it's interesting. These type of media days things, there's a lot of things that go on. And, it is a very public facing for fans to see. And everything is competitive in the SEC, including the press conferences. You gotta go out there and win the press conference. Pete Golding yesterday, by the way, got an applause from the media, which is rare, as he went off and did a very, very candid, media rounds to the point where he even admitted, and I don't know if anybody's actually admitted this on a stage, let alone an SEC coach, that they were paying players well before it was legal to pay players. Have you ever heard a coach actually verbalize that, Timmy?
No.
And he did. And he talked about it. And there'll be a lot of people in the SEC that don't like that and, administration, but it's factually true. And also Florida State was doing it. And Clemson's doing it. Ohio State's doing it. All the major programs have been doing it. It's not just an SEC thing. Let's be clear on that. But I don't think I've ever heard a coach of one of these teams actually admit that. But he did. And it was a very candid media session with Pete Golding. And listen, you can't not like that dude. As candid, as authentic as he was yesterday, you can't not like him. And I'll be pulling for him. So there's, it's interesting. You watch all these guys. These guys are like media stars now, and they got to get up there on the dais and they got to perform, for their fan base. And the guys that do it well will be rewarded, and by the media, and the guys that don't will be skewered. And that's what we've come to. You got to be good at the presser. It's one of the things that you have to be in this day and age of college football. You got to be a media star. You can't be a clunky media guy anymore. That just doesn't work in this day and age. It doesn't work for recruiting. Yeah. You got to be telegenic, all that stuff. It matters. Guys are getting, hair plugs, they get makeup, all this stuff. It's like a TV show now.
Yeah. The old rough and gruff, old school college coaches that don't give a crap. That doesn't work anymore. And unfortunately, I think. Yeah.
Can you imagine Bear Bryant, like going to SEC media days, getting up there in front of the bright lights? Oh, man. No.
God, he would hate that more than anything.
Yeah.
He would do it, but he would just get up there and he'd be the disgruntled head coach acting like he doesn't want to be there, and he would say as little as possible and might respond impolitely to a couple of questions, and he'd be done, and he'd be smoking a cigarette the entire time he was up at the podium.
Yeah. So I just think it's an interesting, kind of exercise that we go through now, and how college football and college sports has changed dramatically with money. And I would say without question, not for the better. And we are certainly at a crossroads here. There's been a lot of talk about legislation. And I did a whole monologue on Greg Sankey's threat to leave college football and go independent, or leave the NCAA, as it were, and go independent. I've seen a lot of talk on that recently, and a lot of people look at it as just a leverage play. I don't think he's serious. I don't think it would be in the best interest of the SEC, but that's where we are at this particular point. It's interesting. We have a super chat this morning. Get right to it. One of our VIP Petermans, Jimmy J. Voyager, said, "Good morning, fellas. Tampa City Council is having a meeting and or vote today on the land use of the new ballpark site. Is this a sign City Council is on board? Jimmy, I don't know the question to that. I don't know the answer to that question. I was told the meaningful votes are going to be in August. This might be a much more procedural thing, I would think. So, yeah, I think it's a kind of a zoning issue that has to be done before they get into demolition and all that other stuff. So I would definitely think nothing is going to live or die with this vote today. As far as I know, I could be wrong, but I think they would have told me if this was some consequential vote. So I don't think that it is. And as far as stadium updates go, real quick one here. I was watching Brody Brazil did a show this week and quoted Ken Babby in our interview, Timmy, where Ken said, look, it's got to be, this vote has to happen in August. And if it doesn't happen, then, they have to look at alternatives. That's,
it's a polite way of saying we'll take our ball and go play somewhere else if y'all don't want to play.
Yeah. And that's not, he said that before. Mm-hmm. And it's common sense. It's obvious. If they don't get this done in August, they have to look at alternatives. Now that, one of the alternatives would be still building in this particular site and getting the deal done at a later date. That would be an alternative. But what you're doing is you're bringing everybody you're basically putting the Rays out to free agency instead of locking them up while you're the only one that can negotiate with them. Cause that's what it is right now. They are the only, Tampa's the only place that they can negotiate right now. They can't legally negotiate outside of it. Then, you open them up to free agency. Do you want to do that? Because they're highly sought after. This would be, in terms of these expansion cities, this would be Tom Brady hitting the market. That's right. It would be Tom Brady hitting the market. Yeah. And they would be scooped up quickly. And there would be a bidding war for them. And they'll make a hell of a lot more money than they're going to make, get here in Tampa. So again, we say it as we've said it a million times. Let's don't fuck this up. This is a tremendous opportunity. And, despite all the fake news out there and the opposition mailers and all that crap going on, I still believe this is going to get done. I really do. All right. We got one other. I wanted to play this one too. This is Summerall on the dais with Nick Saban giving him a stern warning. I think you'll enjoy this.
Gee, John, I'm a Florida resident now, and down there amongst the Gators, and Governor DeSantis is a good friend. You took our former president, Stuart Bell, who's now a Gator, and I want you to know I'm kind of a semi-Gator. So if you don't get your shit together, I'm going to be in the middle of it.
Let's go.
I just want you to know that.
You didn't need any more pressure, did you?
No, actually, Coach, I really appreciate you saying that.
Wow.
When Nick Saban tells you to get your shit together in Florida, that's a thing. That is a thing. All right, one more thing from SEC Media Days. This is Alex Golish. Speaking of telegenic and well prepared, and everybody's going nuts in Auburn about how great the Golish showed out, and I thought he did a great job. And I was wrong. He did speak to a lot of local media, just not DAE for whatever reason.
Probably
spoke to Evan Klosky, spoke to Scott Smith, but
probably a concerted effort on his part. Calculated.
I think no question about it. Yeah. Anyway, here's Golish.
Set goal.
Talking down to everyone in the room.
Going into 2026.
Yeah, women. So I don't set goals. I've always thought that's like a little bit like New Year's resolutions. They usually work for a little bit and then you kind of keep it moving. I set standards. We set standards as a program. Our standard is to be the best version of us every single day. The standard when I got to Auburn was to get as good as we possibly can, as fast as we can. How do we do that? By our daily process, by how we attack every single day, by the standards within that program that, like I talked about earlier, that as they become upheld by our players and it becomes player driven, then those standards become reality, become a way of life every single day within the program.
Yeah. That's nothing new. I just wanted to kind of play that just to, he's prepared, and Auburn fans are eating it up. And I think he's going to have a decent year because he has Byron Brown. The kid's, and he's running that system. I think that's, you have a top 10 quarterback in football, which I think he is, maybe even top 5. Like, you got to do a lot to F that up, even in the SEC. I mean, if they don't win,
I need to do a deep dive on their offensive line, I guess,
Yeah.
the rest of their offense. I know Byron Brown, but I don't know who's still there. I haven't looked at their departures, in the portal, and their the guys that have showed up. I need to look at their O-line and kind of see what that's going to be like. I'll do that this week.
well, he beat Florida at Gainesville with a USF offensive line.
Mhm.
He's good. He's really good. He's hard to tackle. He's a freaking horse. He can throw the football. He's a really, really good player. So I think they'll have a good year now, but will it be when he leaves? What then? Then you
Right.
got to go develop another quarterback. Can he do it? We'll see. We'll see.
Is Brown, he's a Golish recruit, right? Or was he there before? I don't
I
know.
think he might have been there before. I'm not sure Alex recruited him. I could be wrong on that, but Alex developed him.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're, give credit. Alex
Oh,
developed
for sure.
him.
Yeah.
One of our listeners, Ross up in Boston, daily listener, I went kind of back and forth with him on Twitter yesterday. It was a great conversation. And he kind of called me out a little bit on my Golish take yesterday, and which was, Golish did a great job at USF. He resurrected the program. He did a great job. We didn't have him on our show a lot. I think just a couple times. And there's a reason for that. I never really got close to Coach Golish, made some strides, but the information I got on him for people that work with him was not maybe as favorable as others. There's some people in the business that he rubs the wrong way. And I think you can see why. I just one of the reasons I played that. When he's your guy, you love it. When he's your guy, you love him. But when he's not your guy, I don't know.
I don't know that I've ever heard someone describe goals as being bad.
No.
Like, that's new to me. I haven't heard that before.
But we have standards. We don't have goals. You goal-oriented people.
That's for New Year's.
Eh.
What does that even mean? Everybody has goals. Except for me. I'm pretty goal.
We have standards, which is fine. I like it. It's a nice
They're
little
not the
twist
same
on
thing. They're not the same thing.
it. Yeah. It's just, I think you understand. It's like when you see it, you know it. And I don't want to necessarily attach a negative word to it. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
He's not my cup of tea. He's just not. And there were a lot of people and boosters over at USF. Maybe a lot's not a great word. There were a few that he rubbed the wrong way. And listen, sometimes successful people do that. I'm sure Nick Saban rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah, but you put up with a lot when you win. That's
Exactly.
the difference.
Exactly. And listen, he won, but beat Florida. Yeah, he's competitive, did a nice job. But there were a lot of games, frankly, I think they should have won. And but anyway, Ross kind of called me out on that. And I said, I don't think we certainly were not of the over the top crowd on Golish.
Right.
We were not. I thought he did a good job, but I also said Hartline's an upgrade. He's going to have to go out there and prove it with wins. I just feel like our Hartline is a much more authentic person. I think he has a much better pedigree than Golish. Anybody you talk to about Hartline, they don't say the things they said that work for him or work with him. They don't say the same things we heard about Golish. At least I've not heard it. I've talked to probably, 25, 35 people that have worked with him, that have been in his program, that have been coached by him. Abuka, Cam, who was on the show the other day, Cam Babb, rave about the dude. the authenticity, the coaching ability, the enthusiasm, the intelligence. They rave about the dude. But listen, you got to go win. You got to go win. Do I think he'll win more than Golish? I do. I think it won't happen this year. I don't think. If it happens this year, I will be blown away. Having to replace basically all of your starters and implement a whole new culture and 2 new systems on offense and defense, that's a big ask. That's a huge ask. Now, it's also not doing it in the SEC.
Yeah.
It's the American,
Or the Big Ten.
which is a good league. It's a really good league. I mean, but it's not the SEC. It's not the Big Ten. It's not the ACC. It's just not. So can he do it? I think he can. I think they'll have a winning season. I think they'll go to a bowl. I don't think they'll be necessarily in playoff contention, but we'll see. We'll see what Hartline does. But I you give him 2 or 3 years, I think he'll be a better coach than Golish was.
Is there anybody that doesn't think Hartline is a upgrade from Golish? Like, to me, that's unfathomable to think that it's not.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I hear people say, Golish did a great job and blah, 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 blah. And he did. But I think Hartline's an upgrade. I think most people believe that. Yeah, absolutely.
And, Golish was here for how long? 3 years?
Yeah. And also, listen, I'll cop to this. I thought Jeff Scott was going to do a great job. It was a disaster, for many reasons. But and I would, looking back, I was biased. I'd known Jeff since he was a kid,
right?
At Florida State since he was a child, and his dad Brad Scott was working at FSU. So sometimes your bias colors your perspective. But listen, the guy came from a great program in Clemson who had tremendous success, and he was a big part of their offense. I mean, it was great pedigree. It just seemed like a great hire, but some guys just don't elevate well as a head coach. They just don't. You see it all the time. It's not easy. It's a very, very tough job. You got to be so many different things, and it's never been more difficult than it is in this day and age. So, yeah, that was a miss. And we don't know if Hartline's going to be that guy. We just don't know. He's never been a head coach. So let's see. But listen, all these, at one point, they all get their first head coaching jobs. Nick Saban, Steve Spurrier, Bobby Bowden, all of them. You just never know. You do your best to evaluate, like, Scott Strickland did with Summerall, and you see where it goes. Early returns are good, but you don't know shit until they get on the field and you see them coach. And that remains, and that's why we love it. That's why we freaking love it. This is talking season. It's fun. Nobody's lost the game yet, so everybody's happy. But that's going to change come late August, and that's why we watch. And I can't freaking wait for college football. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side. And I'm sorry we're talking lots of college football, but we do Rays every single day, right? And we'll do it right now coming up. We'll hit last night's game. So I'm going to just switch it up a little bit while the SEC media is in town and talk a little college football. It's a big part of what we do here. We're big, big college football guys, big college football show because Tampa is a huge college football market. All right. We are brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa, the Murphy Auto Group. If you have not gone on over there and test drive these cars, these Genesis cars, you are missing out. If you are in the market for a new car, and by the way, yes, some new cars are expensive. There's no question about it. But I got a 2023 GV70 for a very, very reasonable price. My payment wasn't much more than on my 2018 BMW. All right. And this car is way better, like way better. Like not even close, not even in the same realm. And that's what blows you away about Genesis. When you go test drive these cars, you'll say, oh, this is just like, the top of the line premium cars. And it is, except the price. The price is not. It's significantly less. So go check out what everybody's talking about, that GV70 at Genesis of Tampa. No payments for 3 months. No payments for 3 months and free gasoline. Check it out. Again, Genesis of Tampa. Back in 3. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch roofing, roofing done right.
Big thanks to Italiano Insurance, the great folks over there. They will soon be part of Gallagher Insurance. A little name change, but same great folks, same great customer service you've known for over 65 years. They do all the work. You save all the money. ItalianoInsurance.com at 813-877-7799. Hey, guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service you get, $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Hey, the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler, so don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. At the Golden Diamond Source, they can design anything you want personally. The Golden Diamond Source can help you trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase as well. And with gold prices at record high, now is the best time to do it. They only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source, so if it's a real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Bad idea. And with the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program, you can learn all about the 4 C's in all the different shapes and styles. And they are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com.
It's a love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back with more do you want. The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. That is the place to watch Rays games, by the way, because it's always happy hour during Rays games. You get $6 Jack, $6 Tito's, $6 margaritas, great food specials as well. And when there's a day game today, like today, then you also get all the food specials and all the regular happy hour specials, because happy hour goes from 3 to 7 every day. By the way, Riveters going viral for their Reuben sandwich, their wings, all that stuff. I was over there with Andres the other day, the owner-operator, talking about the care that they take for their food and the things they do for the Reuben. They They slow smoke that corned beef for 8 hours. Same thing with their prime rib for the prime rib sandwich, for the prime rib tacos. I mean, it is no joke. That dude is serious about his food. By the way, they own Boda, which is right next door, across the street, actually, next to the that other place, the Mons Venus, whatever. That's not, I don't know what that is. This place Boda right next door, fresh Mexican. Let me tell you what, that place, they've got some tacos over there. Yeah, I'm talking about Boda. They got some tacos over there, baby, and they are. I don't know where this live read went, but wow, they've got fresh Mexican. It is absolutely fantastic. You can order it up, drive right through. They get a nice little dining room, but it is the best fresh Mexican you will get over there. That is at Boda. So Riveters Boda, whatever you're in the mood for, it's right there for you on Dale Mabry. Boy, we could pick apart that live read, Timmy.
And I wasn't even involved in that live read, and it went off the rails.
We went from tacos to Mons Venus to wow.
Jeez.
But it was good, though. That was a good one.
I'm kind of proud of you for that one.
People will remember that one. I have to send that one over to Andres.
Kind of hungry for a taco right now. A breakfast taco. What are y'all dirty mind people
Nothing
thinking?
better than that, bro. Nothing better way to get your day started. Ashley is losing it right now. She's listening. Yes, sir. Oh, my. Transition from that. All right. Let's talk about the Rays.
How do we even do that now?
They have a taco special.
They have a taco night at the Trop?
No, they have they probably will. They have a taco special at Boda at the lunch special. You get 3 tacos and a side, and it's fantastic. It's like $12. Really, really good. Best in town, in my opinion. And if you want to continue your journey down Dale Mabry, there's plenty of opportunity.
You're welcome to do that.
Shop the tacos. All right. The Rays won last night.
Today. We appreciate everybody tuning in.
Welcome. Good day, everybody. Rays win last night, 4-2. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, Timmy. One of the reasons we love this team is because they win in different ways. And this week, it hasn't necessarily been the tremendous trio that's carried this team. It's been Chandler Simpson, Ben Williamson with a couple of hits. Fortes has had a home run. Last night, Victor Mesa Jr. with 2 RBIs, knocking in 2 of the 4 runs. And this is the thing. When you can win so many different ways, they got the running game going, man. I think they had 3 or 4 stolen bases last night again. Chandler Simpson, by the way, in the month of July, 407, 945 OPS, 7 stolen bases, only 3 strikeouts.
That's pretty good.
That's good. That's good. According to Evan Klosky, those are the numbers, and he does not lie. That's phenomenal. And, I think we talked about this yesterday. I think, they're hitting them down in the 7-8, 6, 7, 8, 9 hole. They tried him at the top, didn't work out for a little bit. I think it was more about, let's just take the pressure off him. This is only his second year, and I think he's only the 3rd or 4th Ray to get 100 hits in both of their first 2 seasons, which is incredible. And that's the thing about Chandler is he's still young in this game, and he's still learning how to steal bases. He's still learning how to hit, and he's just got such good tools. And I really believe he can be a great leadoff hitter. But I think the way the Rays are doing this, and we've bitched about it a lot, but I think the way they're going about this is let's just let him get comfortable in the league. Take some time, and then when we feel like the time is right, you put him at the top of the order. I think that's a good process.
And let him handle the pressure you're giving him now, and then once he adjusts to that pressure and he shows he can do it, then give him a little more pressure by putting him at the top.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to screw up a good thing right now. Just let him go.
And it's not like you're desperate for leadoff hitting right now. You're not desperate,
right?
Yeah.
So just let him do it, and get it. Let him do his thing, and he's having a great year now, and I wouldn't change a thing. And he's just so disruptive when he gets on the bases, and even when now we're seeing when he comes up, it's like these like, oh, I can't walk this guy. I can't walk this guy. I can't put him on. And you can see the pitchers are just missing because it's in the back of their head. Like the last thing I want is this guy on base. And every time they walk him, it's a double. Almost every single time now, it's a double. And the Rays are getting the running game going. HIJACKS was, he escaped the first inning at 27 pitches, gave up a run. But we were like, we've talked about this with Big O. HIJACKS is great when he's hitting greens, right? When he's hitting fairways and greens and he stays out front. He's really, really good. And that first inning, I was like, oh no, this is going to go sideways. But he got out of it. With not a whole lot of damage. And then he really found a groove. I think he's retired 10 in a row at one point. The changeup was just devastating, really, really devastating. So he ended up going, 6 innings, 3 hits, 5 Ks. That's good. That's good pitching. That's really, really good pitching against a formidable Jays lineup. Obviously, they're struggling. I get it. But there's still a lot of good hitters in that lineup, a lot of good hitters. And they come away with a 4-2 win. The bullpen was fantastic last night. They gave up one home run to Alejandro Kirk, who just came back. That chunky little sucker. He can play catcher, though. I tell you what, man, that guy, he can play for me anytime. He and Aranda are like best friends. They grew up together and playing ball in Mexico. Really good player, good hitter. Remember when Pudge came up and he was fat?
And that's where he got the nickname. That's why they called him Pudge.
And everybody's like, man, if this guy ever lost weight and got in shape, he'd be unbelievable. And he did. Remember?
Yeah, not a lot of weight, but he lost enough to be effective. But,
well, he changed his body dramatically.
Yeah.
He went from chubby to yoked.
He went from chubby
to
pudgy.
Remains to be is maybe a part of the debate. But
there's no debate.
Yeah. But he went from chubby to yoked. And it helped him tremendously. And
think about it. He was in the same room. He was in the same room with Rafael Palmeiro, Juan Gonzalez, and Jose Canseco for a number of years. So, think about that what you want.
And he changed his body dramatically. So, be that as it may. But if Kirk ever did that, he's already a great player, but he could be really, really good. Or maybe not. Remember when CC lost a lot? Remember when Sabathia lost a bunch of weight and he was just shitty? He sucked.
No power.
Yeah, he changed his body and it just totally, and you're as a pitcher, and he was so big. What is he? 6'7", 280, something like that.
Massive, yeah.
Yeah. And so, he grew up that way and you learn to pitch that way and your body just works that way and you use the leverage of that weight and everything. So when he changed his weight, it just like, whoa. And then he said, screw it. I'll go back to being fat again.
We go back to being fat.
Good. Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm fat. I just feel it's better for my body.
You're on the CC the Bathia train. Yeah. Listen,
I pitch better at this weight.
Absolutely. I live better at this weight. That's just fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I tried to get skinny one time. I didn't like it at all. It was boring. I hated it.
Nobody knew who I was.
Right. So good night for the Rays. By the way, Dan Matthews is going to join us at 11:15 from SEC Media Days. He's our correspondent over there today. He's morning host in 790 in Houston. Big SEC guy, big LSU guy, he covers it all. Worked in Atlanta with him for many years. Braves, baseball, knows that works for the Astros and the Rockets. So we'll chat with him at 11:15. Big Todd Callis fan because he works with the Astros.
Maybe my biggest takeaway from these last two games now we're wondering what in the world happened in Boston, right? Like what was happening? I think we kind of know, and Boston's streak finally ended yesterday,
right?
At 15.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at these last two games against the Blue Jays, after completely pounding Toronto the previous night, the Rays showed that they can win a low-scoring, pitching-driven game, which obviously is a much healthier formula than relying on home runs every night. But to me, there's still the question of inconsistency. You see them win with the home run one night, then you see them win with pitching, very deep pitching. What Baker had another perfect 9th, right? Mm-hmm. For his 26th save. So, two vastly different wins and styles of play, but you see it on consecutive nights from the Rays, so you know they're capable of both of these things.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're just wondering why don't we see this more? You know.
Well, listen, we're not by any means. I say the Rays are not by any means a finished product, and every other team is going to load up, and I think there's going to be a lot of really good players to be moved. Obviously, we see the names that are out there with Skubal and Langoliers and all these great catchers that are out there. If the Rays, and it kind of occurred to me, and I want to ask Big O this today. Maybe one of the reasons that we didn't take Vaughn Lackey in the draft is because Neander has a plan to go get one of these really good young catchers, like give up a lot to go get Langoliers. Or go get one of these Goodman. One of these great young catchers. That may be his plan. Instead of and get a guy that's ready to play. We'll give up a lot to get him. Maybe even some of their catching prospects to go get. I mean, would I give up our 2 catching prospects for Langoliers? Hell yes. Yes. Now is the time. Go get a guy as good as those 2 kids will be. You think by far. Not even close to a done deal at Major League. They're just barely into Double-A. Yeah. Great prospects, but come on. You want to give me an established top-of-the-line catcher in Major League Baseball for a couple of younger kids? Hell yeah. So maybe that's why, I would be fine with that. Go get one of those guys that can be a catcher here for, 6 to 8 years and to have power and good defense. That would be awesome. Yeah. So hopefully that gets done. I think I saw a lineup last night. Somebody posted it on what it could look like after the deadline with, I can remember who was the catcher they had in there. I think it was, I forget, but it had Luis Ariz at the top as your leadoff hitter, Yandy into 2-hole, Aranda, Caminero, then the insert catcher here, Langoliers or Goodman or somebody in there. Chandler was in the 9-hole. Taylor Walls, I also had Jacob Melton in there. And I was like, wow. Now that's a line. Now that's not inconceivable. Inconceivable. The greatest movies of all time. So I'm like, wow. With our pitching staff and that lineup, we win the American League. We go to the World Series. 100%. And this becomes the greatest season in the history of Rays baseball. Yeah. Caminero wins the MVP because he gets some protection. It's another 30 home runs in the second half. 25, whatever you want to do. They go to the World Series. They get the deal done for the stadium. Bada bing, bada boom.
Boom. Done deal.
Yeah. It's already done.
I vote for that.
I vote yes. Come on. How can anybody on the city council not vote for that? What are you doing? What are we doing? All right, Alejandro says, good morning, JP and Peterman. It's another great win for the Rays last night, and let's hopefully get the 4-game sweep. The Red Sox streak is over, and thank the Orioles for stopping it for us. Go Rays. Always a shot of positivity from Alejandro every morning.
Always.
Yeah, I love it. It's like a Jaeger bomb for Timmy.
I need Alejandro to send me a positive message about something every single morning to start my day.
Well, he just did. And he puts it on the comments. What do you want?
Well, it's late in my day, though. I need it when I get up like at 5:30.
All right, Alejandro, you have your
You're on it.
Mike Holcomb says the Rays batters have absolutely no clue on when to challenge balls outside the strike zone. Yeah, I noticed that last night. Damn, Chandler Simpson got a ball 4 on the inside part of the plate. We're in the 6th inning. We got 2 challenges left, and is a runner, and the bases are loaded. It's a run. How do you not challenge that?
I didn't see that.
Yes.
Are they instructed? We've talked about this before. Do you think they're instructed to not challenge? Like, you guys
I guess.
don't worry about it.
Or
Like,
you better be right. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
that was a bad mistake.
They're not very aggressive with it.
They need to be. It's the 6th inning, and you have 2 challenges left. The bases are loaded. It's a borderline call that's going to score a run. You challenge. Now, luckily, they scored that run and scored a couple runs in the inning. But I think it was still tied at that point. I think it was still 1-1 or 2-1. It was 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah, that's a big mistake. Huge mistake. Now they got out of it, but If they don't score there, we're talking about that today. And I want to know why, to your point. Why are we not more aggressive challenging in situation? To me, challenging is all situational because there's a ton of pitches you can challenge. And if you're a batter or a catcher, you're probably, it's not black and white. But, in the fifth inning, in a situation like this, someone in the dugout needs to be going, all right, sixth inning now, guys. We got 2 challenges left. If it becomes an important situation, challenge it. Yeah. I don't know if we're reminding people in the dugout, if we're doing that, but that needs to be something that's said and done. And because that was an obvious opportunity to challenge there. You got to challenge there. And this is the big part of the game. And I think this situation is very instructive of that. You have got that is a situation you cannot screw up. You have the opportunity. You have multiple challenges. It's a key point in the game. You got to challenge it. But all of this is new, and they're learning, and this should be a learning point and a teaching point for Cash and everybody on this team. I don't know if that was Chandler's fault, if it was Cash's fault, or organizationally what they're doing with it, but that was a whiff. That was a bad miss.
Yeah, and I wonder if teams, obviously they have their own internal, I guess for lack of a better word, strategy on how to handle challenges, and they impart those to their players, And I think those strategies or challenge strategies will probably evolve for every team, and they're probably still kind of figuring things out because it kind of depends on your players. You can't, every team can't treat it the same, and every situation, every inning, every score, it all matters, when you want to use it. So I'm sure these things are still sort of developing with these guys.
And they'll use that as a teaching tool, no question about it. Jimmy J. Voyager, another one of our members, a VIP member, says, I think the Rays need to add a catcher, preferably second base, and a rotation piece at the deadline. I think we can all agree on that, partner. That's where we need to be. And whether it's Ketel Marte or Luis Arraez, either one of them will be fine with me. I would rather have Marte myself. Big O and I did a huge discussion on that, and he convinced me, and he would convince you if you didn't hear it. Just trust me. That's the way to go. Danny Sledge, intern Danny, says, as the deadline approaches on August 3rd, I'm normally have a larger list of prospect no trades. Now, with a real possibility of the World Series, that list has gotten much smaller. Now, this is kind of a philosophical thing with Neander. What are you going to do here? There's a lot of factors that go into this. Obviously, budget. How constrained are they budgetarily? We don't know. I think there's probably more flexibility now than there's ever been with this new ownership group. That's just my opinion. We'll see. They're not adding $30-40 million in payroll. Don't get me wrong. That's not happening. But 5 to 10, I think that's definitely doable. Because I think they're confident that they're getting this deal done. I think they're working from a. I think if you ask Ken Babby right now, and maybe I am, and I don't think this is something they're going to put out publicly, but I think their confidence level obviously is very high that they're going to get this deal done, and they would be acting fiscally as if it's going to get done at this deadline. That's my opinion. I'm not reporting that as fact. That is my opinion. And we'll see. What else we got here today? Lottie Wilkins says that the 76 Creamsicles are back December 6th. How about Patrick Kane going back to Chicago? Yeah. But the 76 Creamsicles, I love that. We're not doing the orange ones anymore. We're going with the white 76s. Yes. Yes, and it's going to be against the Chargers, who will be in their powder blues. It was, I said yesterday, it will be the greatest uniform day, maybe in NFL history.
Isn't it crazy that the dark blue and bright yellow uniforms of the 80s that JP, that you and I were, related more to the Chargers back in the day, are now the throwbacks? Like, to me, that's just bizarre.
Yeah, they should be the standard. That's the best.
I still like those, man.
That Dan Fouts,
yes,
Kellen Winslow, Charlie Joyner. Yes. Kellen Winslow Sr., by the way.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying.
Yes.
It's not confused him and his kid.
I was at that playoff game in Miami. Never forget that. That was crazy. The hook and lateral at the end to Tony Nathan at the end of the first half. And the Orange Bowl did not sit down and stop cheering until the Dolphins came out. It was like watching a Springsteen encore in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
These people stood up for 15 minutes and did not stop cheering. It was crazy.
Well, now you know what it feels like to be at a 3.5-hour game at Kyle Field.
Yeah. Wow. They do stand
That's what
up
it
the
is
whole
at
time,
Kyle
don't
Field the entire time.
Elko said yesterday that they averaged 104,000 fans, which is 103% of capacity. Average.
Yeah.
I'm not
Did
sure
you hear
the
what
fire
he
marshal
said? So
wanted to hear
at
that.
SEC, so yesterday, a reporter asked him, how do you keep your players from being satisfied? Which I thought was a weird question because they hadn't won anything, but the question was, how do you keep your players from staying satisfied? He goes, I show them the trophy case. It's empty. I thought that was
a great
so
answer.
Mike Elko, man.
That's a great answer. Boo Shiesty says, if Hillsborough and Tampa drop the ball, get ready for Rayleigh. Oh, I see what you did there. Rayleigh, R-A-Y, Durham. I think the deal will get done here, but plenty of cities waiting. Yeah, we have documented this, my friend. They are not only are they ready and waiting, but I feel, in my own opinion, that they are funding these opposition mailers in some way. I think it's Orlando, could be Raleigh. Raleigh-Durham strikes me as a much more classy organization than the Dreamers. No offense, guys. The Dreamers are just very out there. They've been very public about going after the Rays. Or maybe it's more the Orlando fans, where Raleigh has just been, we're just doing our thing here, getting everything done behind the scenes that needs to be done. That's what Major League Baseball likes.
Right.
They don't like any of the public shows. Just get your business done. Let us know behind the scenes that you got the funding, you got a good plan, everything's in place. We don't need to see plastic car magnets. We don't need to see, renderings all over social media. Don't need all that. Just get your business done. And Orlando is the antithesis of that. Pat Williams would know exactly what to do. You guys are not following in his legacy. Just saying. Danny Boy says, good morning, gentlemen. The winner of yesterday's pressers came from A&M coach Mike Elko. To your point, Timmy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Danny Sledge says, developing story out of Durham. Jacob Melton scratch from yesterday's game. Maybe something to watch. We're waiting on him. Where do you put him? Can't take Victor Mesa Jr. out. You can't take Chandler Simpson out. Hell, Cedric Mullins is playing great baseball. Where's he playing? Who's leaving? Interesting. DeLuca hit a bomb the other day. The outfielders are playing well.
Man, I love DeLuca.
Yeah. But none of those guys have the power that Melton has.
No.
Especially from, I believe, left side, right? Yeah. Anyway, Alejandro says, when are the votes in August? Because I will be there, as I'm sure most of the Petermans will be there. Jimmy, I know you'll probably be there. Same with you, Kurt, and obviously JP and Orestes. Go Rays. Yeah, we'll figure out our strategies as we get closer. I know this, and Babby has said this on the show, and to me personally, that what we did at that council meeting was huge, and our presence was a very, very important. So if we have to be there again, we will. No question about that. Danny said, oh, wait, never mind. It's just soreness in his ankle. Oh, see, I didn't. But he's coming up sooner or later. Rick says, boy, the most expensive taco ever. That taco will never love you.
All my tacos love me, sir.
Danny Boy Kane might be missing the bit. His quesadillas are better, to be quite honest. Or maybe I'm missing the bit.
Yeah, if we're missing it, maybe I don't want to know what he's talking about. If I'm not getting it,
Yeah. Joey Genti just says, whoops, what are we doing? Tetanus shot, Rick says. Yeah, you might need one. This from Alejandro Emerson, our first-round pick, becomes the second highest-paid prospect signed out of the draft with a $9.7 million bonus by the Rays. This is foretelling for the future for him. If there's possibility he could be called up soon, no. He's an 18-year-old high school shortstop. He's not getting called up anytime soon. Now, The Rock, who's played at UCLA, right? College ball for 3 years, he's ready. Our guy's many years away. Von Lackey is not, which is why we are so disappointed. But we'll see what Neander's plan is for catching, because it's got to be better than what we're dealing with now. And Fortes is, look, they've all had their moments, but they can't throw anybody out. Blue Shiesty says, yes, no guarantee that any prospect will be good in the majors. Yes. You got somebody that's established in the major leagues over, two prospects, even if they're really good prospects, I'll take the established player anytime. Yeah, Big Easy says, I saw that lineup too, JP. It had Jeffers as the catcher. Yes, Ryan Jeffers. So, yeah, there's three or four catchers on the market catchers rarely come on the market.
Yeah. And
if you get one, you want to sign them long-term, or if they have some control left. You don't want a rental. Especially if you're giving up big time prospects. You're giving up Fluellen and Bodine. You can't be a rental. No way. What else? John Hill says the Bucs need a time clock coach and the Rays need a challenge coach. I would agree with that. The Bucs supposedly have a time clock coach. All right, Let's take a break. We will come back. Dan Matthews is going to join us from Sports Radio 790 in Houston, covering SEC Media Days. So we'll chat with him about Lane Kiffin's performance this morning and all the coaches. He's been there all week, so we'll get his take on who won the pressers, who's winning talking season over there at the downtown Marriott. We are brought to you by the great folks at the Golden Diamond Source, where it is Christmas in July. If only we had that kind of weather right now, right? Although it was beautiful again this morning. Very nice walk on the boardwalk. But Christmas in July is going on right now at the Golden Diamond Source. Their selection is really amazing. It's like a tourist attraction for you that love jewelry. I mean, the watches they have there, they have 5-carat diamonds you can buy, 10-carat diamonds. They have 20-carat diamonds, 20 carats. Yes, go check it out for yourself. Amazing. And great prices going on. 0% financing is available as well. And so go check it out at the Golden Diamond Source. It's Christmas in July. They're having fun over there, as they always do, at 3800 Ulmerton Road, just over the bridge in Clearwater. Back in 3. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. Soon to be AJ Gallagher Insurance. And what does that mean for you? It means the same great customer service you've been relying on for 60 years at Italiano Insurance here, where you give them a call at 813-877-7799 and a human answers the phone. How about that? And you get more options as they move to AJ Gallagher Insurance, which will help save you money as well. So it's the same old deal. You save all the money. They do all the work. You don't have to call these 800 numbers and go crazy trying to get your insurance. Let them do the work. ItalianoInsurance.com and also 813-877-7799. All right, we'll get back to your comments here in just a little bit. We will get to the Bucs skill position preview. But first, our good friend Dan Matthews from Sports Radio 790 in Houston. He is the morning drive host. Also works with Astros pre and post and Rockets pre and post. And he's our SEC media correspondent for the day. What's up, Dan? How are you, my friend?
Hey, JP, it's good to hear from you again, buddy.
You are frozen. You are a frozen picture. But we can hear you. We can hear you, so that's good. We may just get there. That's working. All right, so you've been there all week, sequestered in the Marriott. I'm sure you love our fine city. I'm not sure. Did you get out to enjoy it at all, or have you just in every press conference?
No, absolutely. I mean, last couple of nights hanging out in Ybor City, went and ate a great Italian meal. Can't remember the name of the place, but I know it's part of the Columbia restaurant group right there.
Oh, Casa Stefano, yes.
Yeah. No, got a nice
That's
little.
That's a great one. Bernini's a fantastic one as well down there.
Okay.
You can't miss. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm always down for a good Italian meal. So
Yeah.
went and got some good veal scallopini. The focaccia, all of that was
Yes.
amazing too. So
Yeah,
no,
great
it was a hell
place.
of a time. Little bit of red wine with it too. So wasn't a bad night. And then last night went over to Double Deckers. See, every year at SEC Media Days, it's become a tradition here over like about the last 15 years that a group goes on Wednesday night and does karaoke. Found a place last night, got up on stage. Did one international song. I went with Wonderwall. So shout out to the England
Nice.
supporters out
Very
there.
nice. Like that.
And then I went with a Florida artist for the second one, Scott Stapp and Creed, Higher for the second one.
Nice.
So
wow,
yeah,
those are two good ones. Wow.
absolutely.
Were you well received?
Oh yeah, no, for both of them, like I can definitely get into Scott Stapp pretty easily, and he came through
Nice.
Houston. He came to Houston at the livestock show and rodeo. Got to see him there, so
Yeah.
being able to drop that, even though it was the Rangers postseason song that like kind of galvanized the clubhouse the year that they beat the
Yes.
Astros.
Yeah.
That was a bummer, but still, it's been nice to see Creed and Scott and the crew make a nice comeback, and they're still rocking, man.
Yeah, they are. They're killing it.
Rock never fades, man. That's what I tell people all the time. I'm like, rock, if they're good, they will stay good forever. Look at Mick and the Stones.
Well, not only that, I saw Journey about a month and a half
Right.
ago. They crushed it. And last night, maybe not rock genre, but absolute icons, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Lionel Richie lit up Benchmark Arena last night. I heard it was an incredible show. So yeah, the old guys can still get it. Now, this karaoke bunch you're with, is there any national names that you could say probably put on a nice performance? I mean, anybody you want to shout out for their karaoke performance?
So, I mean, probably for your audience, Connor O'Gara, who used to be with Saturday Down South, he got up there.
Yeah.
How do you like me now?
Okay.
Toby Keith.
Nice.
He dropped that one on
That's
us.
a good one.
Billy Lucci, some people might
know him.
or may not know him from Texags. He got up there, and he also went with Creed. He went with, I'm trying to remember which one he went with. Arms Wide Open, I think is what he went with.
Oh, very
So,
nice. I can't believe I wasn't invited to this, Matthews. That was poor
it
choice
was an
on your part.
oversight. I apologize. I apologize. Next time we got to fix that for sure. Especially when I'm in town. I got to pay homage to the dean. You know,
Yeah, you
absolutely.
should, right?
Absolutely. No,
Listen,
that's on me.
Until you've seen this old bald white guy do "Let's Get It On"
Yeah.
with Marvin Gaye,
Yeah.
it's absolutely horrible. But I sell it. I sell it hard.
See, that's the thing with karaoke is I always love when people, I can't sing all of this. I'm like, okay, pick a song that the room is going to get involved with.
Yes.
Like a perfectly good example. Go Sweet Caroline. You know that everybody's going to do the bop, bop, bas. You know that everybody's going to join in, like I feel like you pick a song like that gets everybody involved. It's a mood booster for the room. Then nobody cares how you sing.
Yeah. See, we didn't rehearse this karaoke thing, but we nailed it. We absolutely nailed it without singing, by the way.
I agree.
All right. So let's get into, so on a karaoke scale, grade the coaches who was your favorite press conference and why? Give me some of your highlights.
Yeah, I mean, I think John Summerall came through yesterday and absolutely crushed it. And I think for, the new coaches, him, Lane Kiffin, Pete Golding, who continues to feel himself, and he can feel himself for one more season. I think after that, then you're going to find out what type of coach Pete Golding is. And then, of course, Lane Kiffin today coming through and filibusters for about 30 minutes to be able to avoid having to answer a ton of questions. I mean, it is media days. You're going to get the questions, all of those things. But it's also, too, with Lane, as he's even admitted before, he can speak a little freely, and that's when he gets in trouble. So my guess is that there was a game plan, be able to run out the clock, do all of that. The only other time that I can remember it was the season that Hugh Freeze didn't even make it to at Ole Miss, and it was all the things around his program that were surrounding it. He got up on stage and filibustered for about 18 minutes, and then he had to start answering questions. But I thought John Summerall, for me, was the best one so far. LSU went this morning. I believe Arkansas is also going today. And then a little bit later on, you're going to get the University of Texas rolling through. And Sark's not going to give you anything juicy. I mean, that's just not who he is. Although, I mean, the one thing that I am looking forward to hopefully asking him is, did you do a little bit of covering for your guy? Because remember when he took the shot at Ole Miss earlier on this offseason, it was the day removed from when Lane in that Vanity Fair article had said, hey, when I was at Ole Miss, it was kind of tough to recruit because of the history of the school, the racial tension, all of that kind of stuff. And then, of course, everybody angry with him. And, of course, the people at Ole Miss backing themselves up saying, oh, we don't have those problems here, whatever it was. And then that's when Sark, it was almost kind of like, hey, Lane, I'll take the heat off of you.
Yeah.
I'll get on Ole Miss's radar now. So I'd like to actually try to figure that out.
Nicely done. What'd you think of Lane today? What stuck with you?
I think probably him mentioning that he watched the Hulk Hogan documentary and then finishing it off with "We're all gonna die." You know, like that was I loved it. You know, yeah. I know you're a big Scotty Scheffler guy, and somebody had brought that up that I guess he had said last year at the British Open, and he laughed about it this year. He goes, "Yeah, you know, this year it's this. Last year we're all gonna die." You know, but it is a fact of life. But I mean, you know, it's just one of those that Lane can get a little philosophical on us. So I guess that's what he decided to do. But for whatever reason, too, I mean, you know, with LSU courting him this offseason, it made them the target for the national media and everybody else to come after LSU. And then it ramped up even more, not even football, but bringing back Will Wade this offseason. So LSU, I think, pretty much looked at the college sports landscape and said, hey, we'll be the bad guys. We don't care.
Yeah. True. What'd you think of Alex Golish, our former USF guy now at Auburn?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was fine. I don't necessarily get the impression from him that he's looking to steal the headlines. I think that if nothing else, Auburn is like a lot of these schools. They just want stability. They just want to be able to compete again. They want to be able to get back to Atlanta. They want to be able to be up there with Alabama, with Georgia, with even LSU, Texas. I mean, the schools that are competing and going to the college football playoff, that's where they want to be. So I think that that's probably the mindset that he came in here with, is just kind of be low profile a little bit. And I think he accomplished that. And that just seems like the type of coach he is. I mean, I think that fan bases are glad to have the loud, boisterous guy if they win. If you're going to be the cliche machine and you're going to be like me and you both spent time in Atlanta, like a guy like Dan Quinn, who's going to be more of the Pete Carroll, and there's going to be some sort of theme for every single day,
Dale Carnegie
and
guy,
some sort of cutesy thing. Right. I mean, you know, the sayings that would be on Hallmark greeting cards or on T-shirts or any of these things. Like when you're winning, people love that. When you're losing, people get tired of hearing it. Right. Absolutely. It's just like, dude, what is this, a Tony Robbins seminar? Like, I don't care to hear these things.
Where would you put Golish on the authenticity scale, 1 to 10?
Oh, I think a 10. I mean, just from everything I've heard of him, you know, he seems like he's just who he is. I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily anything like where you're going to get him being attributed to pop shots at people. And who knows, maybe as he gets a little bit more comfortable in this job. And I mean, Auburn is one of those schools that has shown you, we're going to give you a little bit of time, but we're only going to give you a little bit of time. I mean, in college football now, it seems like whenever a guy is hired, you get one season to really have people say, all right, it's your first year. You're trying to get your system in place. You're trying to get your guys, all of that. We'll give you that. After year 2, that's when people start to wonder if it doesn't look like it took a precipitous jump in the positive direction. Then they start to wonder, hey, are you even going to make it through year 3? I mean, like I said, me and you were both in Atlanta, and we saw that with Jeff Collins at Georgia Tech, where it was pretty evident from the beginning this wasn't going to work. And it was going to be, And then they get Brent Key, and it's worked out incredibly well. So I think that it's probably about year 3 is when you got to take that jump. And look at a guy like Brian Kelly, who I think he didn't really do himself any favors when he was at LSU. You've got to embrace the people. You've got to embrace the culture of Southern Louisiana. I think Lane, for the most part, has done that. But again, it's one of those that the goofiness on social media and being free with your words, doing all that kind of stuff, it's all fine and good. Do you win the SEC? Do you get to the college football playoff? Are you actually able to make this a winning program? Because LSU has shown it with the money. They have no expectations of just 10-win seasons and maybe or maybe not making the college football playoff. The expectation with Lane Kiffin there and Brian Kelly no longer there is we're going to the college football playoff. We're playing for national titles. We're winning national titles.
Dan Matthews joining us here, Sports Radio, Morning Radio in Houston, also Astros and Rockets pre and post. All right, so on the field, who's the media talking about? Who do they think is going to win this? I think Georgia, for me, comes back. Even though their offensive line is a little bit inexperienced, you got a returning quarterback. They're just always going to be the most physical team out there in the SEC. That still wins. Who do you got? Who's your top four to get to Atlanta?
I gotta tell you, I think that, yeah, you're right on it. And Georgia is one of those four. The one that seems to be getting the most momentum amongst the media this week is Oklahoma. And it's a defense that returns all 11 of their starters from last year. Mateer was really good for them last year. There's a lot of people who wonder if Oklahoma is the team that wins the SEC this year. And I mean, it's one of those that take a look at a guy like Brent Venables, who was very much, on the hot seat last year, and they make the college football playoff. So that helps them, probably gives them about at least another year. Because let's be honest here, like once you are on the hot seat, you're never fully off it until you win a national title. And then you're able to have a good season after that. So I think Oklahoma is definitely in there. I think the Longhorns for sure are in there. That was the hottest team in college football late in the season last year. And the fact that they went to Florida and played as poorly as they did, it's what sunk their season. I mean, losing to Ohio State was one thing. That wasn't great. They get them in Austin this year. So I think that it's going to be a lot different than going up to Columbus, very first game of the season last year. That was a tough place, and obviously it didn't go their way. And then, of course, losing later on this season, to Georgia that they did. So I think that those are three. And number four, I got to go with probably Texas A&M. Like, I would want to say LSU. I really do want to say LSU. But I think that A&M with Marcel Reed back, and I like, too, what Mike Elko said yesterday. I mean, he was asked about, you guys won 11 games last year in the college football playoff. Like, have you arrived? He said, no, we haven't won anything. And not only have we not won anything, his way of guarding against his guys getting complacent and starting to feel themselves is during team meetings, he'll say, look at the trophy case. There's nothing in it. We didn't go to Atlanta. We didn't beat Texas. And we lost in the very first game against Miami and didn't even score a touchdown in that game. So I think that's a hungry group. I think they finally have depth. They look night and day different than what any A&M team has looked in recent years. Tommy Moffitt, their strength and conditioning coach, who for years was at LSU, he's made a massive difference under Mike Elko there at Texas A&M. So I would say that it's the two Texas schools, Oklahoma and Georgia, I think are the four teams you need to look at.
Dark horse Ole Miss with Trinidad Chambliss, or did they lose too much?
I think they lost too much. And it's also too, I mean, it is the Lane factor, but Charlie Weiss meant a lot to him. And that's the other thing is that during that playoff run, when you had Ole Miss fans trying to say Lane was in the way, which is the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard. But it's not only that, Charlie Weiss, who is a really good offensive mind, is now at LSU. So I have no doubt that Trinidad Chambliss and Kejuan Lacey will be really good. I think they're probably a 9-win team. That's fine. Maybe it gets you into the playoff. Maybe it doesn't. But I still think that it's one of those that losing the head coach, who was the offensive mastermind for you, is one thing. Losing a really good offensive coordinator, who even when he went to LSU was still getting looks from the NFL, in Charlie Weiss Jr., as somebody that can be really counted on. And I know that Lane Kiffin really relies on him. I think, as a matter of fact, has even given up play calling to him, that you're the guy that runs it, which for most head coaches, that's usually the route you finally need to go, that you do need to give it up. Like, I'm in Houston, as we've mentioned, D'Amico Ryans finally did last year with the defense, and the defense still performed at an all-time level. So I understand, when you're a play caller by nature, you want to be able to hold on to it. But that's also kind of the thing that Texas is running into. So I think you could throw Ole Miss in there, LSU for sure in there. I think that John Summerall is going to be able to get Florida going.
Yeah, I was
Now,
going to ask you about the Gators.
is that 9 wins? Is it 10 wins? No. But I could see an 8-4 this year. You see enough good momentum. He's killing it on the recruiting trail, which the last few head coaches have not really done that. That's been, something that's been amiss there at Florida. He seemingly has that right. But JP, you know as well as anyone, recruiting only takes you so far now, at least the high school ranks. How do you do in the transfer portal? More importantly, how do you retain your roster? That's the biggest thing. So if you're able to keep guys at your school without constantly having to go into the portal, that's huge. I mean, one guy that comes to mind for that is Georgia and Kirby Smart of talking about we didn't really have to hit the portal all that much because we had a lot of guys returning. That's huge. Not a lot of coaches can say that.
Consistency, it works in any league, having those guys come back. And that's been such a problem in college football just because of the rules and the transient nature of it. Now it's very hard to get that going, and the teams that do win. So we'll see. Dano, how does everybody get on your social media, all that stuff? How do we get your content?
Yeah, Twitter at Dan Matthews, HOU is how you find me there. Also on Instagram, which I'll give you a nice little one that I posted on Instagram this morning for a reason for you to follow, at Dan Matthews 27 there. John Daly was making his rounds on Radio Row this morning. So as soon as I saw John, got a picture with him, found out he lives here in Clearwater. So it was awesome to be able to catch up with him. And, he did. So he was good on that, but he was making his rounds with the Arkansas contingent. So he's a big Hog fan. And anytime you get a chance to get a picture with John Daly, you get a picture with John Daly.
Santa Claus. Absolutely.
There you go.
All right, Dano, thanks for your time, man. Appreciate it. We'll catch up with you this season. Thanks for your time.
You're the best, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Well, Todd Callis, I said hello. All right, we'll take a break.
Hey, JP, before we go to break, a little bit of breaking news came across during your interview. I don't know if it's breaking because we've talked about it, but John Gruden and Rondé Barber will be your broadcast team for the Bucs preseason game August 22nd against the Chiefs, with John Gruden on play-by-play, baby.
No.
Yep. I told you this was going to happen. You didn't believe me, and I told you this was happening.
So they got no Chris Myers.
It's just the one game. That's the one game that they're doing that for so far that they've announced. So I don't know if Chris will be on the other preseason games or what the situation is, but
interesting.
John Gruden on play-by-play. I won't have a way to watch it, but I can't wait to see the highlights.
How the hell is Channel 8 affording both of those guys? Well, because they don't pay anything for the rest of the people.
Not paying anybody else, right?
They don't pay anybody in the news. Paying minimum wage over there.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, wanted to throw that at you before the break.
All right. Well, that should be interesting. I've never tuned in for broadcasters before, but I got to say, I will now. I will. Absolutely. That's going to be fun. That is going to be fun. And him and Rondé have great chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
So that is going to be a yuck fest. That is going to be one hell of a broadcast. So if they turn that into a national game, which they do, and they might, they don't want to bring the national crew. That's why you're tuning in. Wow, that's going to be interesting. Wow, that's big news. You were right. All right. I don't think Chris Myers is going to like that very much. Is Chris doing any other are the other games or not?
It didn't say. Yeah, okay.
All right, Big O coming in to talk some baseball. Your comments and our Bucs skill position preview coming up next. Stay with us. JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business, and I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000. And all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you. Big thanks to Italiano Insurance, the great folks over there. They will soon be part of Gallagher Insurance. A little name change, but same great folks, same great customer service you've known for over 65 years. They do all the work. You save all the money. ItalianoInsurance.com at 813-877-7799. Hey, the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler. So don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. At the Golden Diamond Source, they can design anything you want personally. The Golden Diamond Source can help you trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase as well. And with gold prices at record high, now is the best time to do it. They only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. So if it's a real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Bad idea. And with the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program, you can learn all about the 4 C's in all the different shapes and styles. And they are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com.
It's the love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, thanks to the great folks at Pitch Roofing. We just heard that spot. Don't forget to get on the preferred client list in case there is a hurricane that comes through and everybody's scrambling for roofers. You'll already know who your roofing company is. Have them come on out, give an estimate, look at your roof. They'll tell you how much life you got left in that roof, and also get on that preferred client list. Pitchroofing.com over there. They will stand behind their work. Great folks over there. So tell them JP sent you, get the JP discount. All right, Danny Boy Kane tells us that Myers has a scheduling conflict, so that's why Gruden's going to do play-by-play just for that game.
Why would he have a scheduling conflict when he has 4 gigs the whole year?
Chris Myers?
Yes.
He does everything.
He doesn't do anything anymore.
He does. Dude.
He does Bucs preseason games.
What
Is that
about
a
NASCAR?
Is he still on NASCAR?
Yeah, he's still doing NASCAR, still doing IndyCar, doing.
Well, he's not doing IndyCar.
He's doing
on the
he's doing
broadcast.
NASCAR. It's still something he has to do. He does NFL football,
There were
NASCAR,
4
IndyCar.
occasions. There were 4 occasions at the
everything.
Indy 500, JP, where Chris Myers referred to the Indianapolis 500 as the Daytona 500.
Oh, I hate when that happens. Don't be bad mouthing my boy.
Look, I like Chris. He's a good dude, but sometimes it's just time to hang it up.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here.
No, stay in your lane, Chris.
Oh my God. All right, let's do some Buck stuff before Big O gets in here. So this is interesting. You look at the numbers. Where do you think Baker Mayfield ranks in the last 3 years as a Buccaneer in terms of the main stats? You know, all this negativity about Baker, based on last year when he was playing with, without most of his limbs intact. The last 3 seasons, Baker Mayfield ranks 2nd in passing touchdowns and 3rd in passing yards. He was 2nd. He's 95 touchdowns over 3 years. That's 2nd only to Jared Goff's 101. Passing yardage, 12,237, 3rd behind Jared Goff. Completion percentage, 66.3, top 15. Total QBR, ESPN ranking, 12th in total QBR. So his efficiency rankings are a little bit less, but the main statistics are elite. And for me, and here's the big thing, when he had first-year play callers in Dave Canales and last year, what's his face?
Josh Grizzard.
He had 28 touchdowns under Canales, 26 touchdowns under Grizzard. Liam Cohen, 41 touchdowns, 71% completion percentage. Zach Robinson has experience and is a Liam Cohen clone, or Liam is a Zach Robinson clone.
Right.
That leads me to believe, with a healthy offensive line, the addition of Kenneth Gainwell, you lose Mike Evans, but you gain a healthy Emeka Ibuka, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, Tez Johnson, and of course the new Ted Hurst. That's the skill positions for the Buccaneers are going to be just fine. And I think Baker's going to have a huge year. Somebody said the over-under on Godwin's yardage is 675 yards on the Hard Rock. Jump all over that. That. He could have that by midseason. If he stays healthy, I think Godwin's going to, and just judging by minicamp, Baker's just always going to be looking for him, and he looks good. Godwin looks freaking really good. And I love the running back room. I think Gainwell is going to be their most important pickup in the offseason. I think I think he may get more carries than Bucky, just because I'm not sure where Bucky is at mentally. I'm not sure where he's at physically. We'll see. If he can get back to his rookie abilities, Timmy, this offense is going to be unstoppable. What are your thoughts?
No, I love this offense, man. I love the changes they've made. I like the trade out Gainwell for White. I think Gainwell is a better runner. I think he's a better fit in this system. Obviously, you've got all the receivers coming back. You lost that one guy we won't talk about, but like you and I sort of postulated ahead of time before that happened, you might have addition by subtraction with that, because of the injury history. And now you've got younger receivers that are going to benefit from his absence because they're going to have a bigger role in the offense. And I think that's a good thing because we really like the young receivers here.
Yeah.
The key, though, once again, the key to all of this is health, not just the offensive line, the health of your receivers, the health of Baker, so is it potentially a top 5 most exciting offense to watch? I think so.
Yeah.
Like I'm all in on this thing, man.
And then we didn't mention your favorite player, Cade Otton, who got re-signed in the offseason. I think Cade will have a really good year. He's become a better blocker.
I hope so.
Hopefully the drops are down. I think he's a really, really good tight end, and I think he's going to be more of a red zone presence because Mike Evans is gone. So I can see Cade getting 6 to 8 touchdowns this year.
Wow.
Yeah. I think
here's the question: will he have more touchdowns than drops?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
But
7 touchdowns, 6 drops.
That's about what I expect. What I expect.
All right.
I think, and you look at in terms of the NFC South, Atlanta's got obviously they've got some great talent with Bijan Robinson and Drake London. But if you look at the overall skill positions, I think the Bucs have the best skill position players in this division.
Oh, yeah.
I think they have the best quarterback in this division. And therefore, I think, and now they stole Atlanta's offensive coordinator. Doesn't hurt to steal your competitor's OC, who was, had mixed results in Atlanta, but I think that was more working with quarterbacks who were, obviously they were injured, and both of them were injured and couldn't do anything but work out of the pistol. So I think this opens up really, really big for the Buccaneers. I think they're going to be a 28 to 32 point per game team. If a defense can just get to average. But the main thing is you got to manage these games, these one-score games, and Bowles has got to be better. And how that plays out, we'll see.
Is that the wild card in all of this?
Yeah, of course.
It's
and
Bowles, right?
He started getting involved with the offense last year. He needs to just
step away,
go on back to the defense. And he made it felt that way because it was with Grizzard, it was a neophyte play caller. But with Zach Robinson, just let him do his thing.
He might need to step a little bit away from the defense too, if I'm being honest. And somebody else handle that.
Then what's he do?
Be
Clock
the head
management. What's he gonna do?
Be the walk around head coach. That's all you need to do, Todd.
Maybe he can do play by play. I'm sorry. All right, let's talk some baseball with the Big O. We got a Big O show coming up here later on. Oh, let me hold on there. Let me get your.
Wow.
I got to get your camera on too. Oh, I'm going away. There we are.
Hey,
there we are. There's Doug.
Hi.
Doug got in the shot.
Hi, buddy. Get Doug in the shot one more time just so we can give him a little love.
We can do that. What's up, Dougie? Say hello to all your fans out there.
Dougie, say something.
There we are.
I love money, obviously, like everybody else.
I love my money.
His hair's
hair ready. That's scary.
He got a girl intern.
All right, you're off camera now.
He does have a lot of hair, by the way.
He does. Yeah. What's up, brother?
Man,
Rays are on a roll.
Rays are on a hoagie roll.
A hoagie roll? Is that what you're going to call it?
I'm going to call it a hoagie roll because it's not, it's not Boston-esque.
It's not Boston-esque. Okay.
Yeah, but it's still a roll.
Can we get to 14, you think?
15, actually. They got the 15.
Did they get to 15?
They won the first game of the doubleheader and finally lost yesterday. By the way, just a little tidbit, a little interesting. First of all, they tied 19, I think it was 44 or 1945. Most wins in a row for a Boston Red Sox team. That's a lot. Yeah. There's some great Boston Red Sox teams.
Yeah.
Second most in franchise history, right?
Franchise history. So impressive. Another thing to consider that and since 1961, you've had like 7 teams that have gone on these massive 15 plus rolls. And lastly, the Cardinals in 21 won 17 in a row. Cleveland in 17 won 22 in a row. Remember the A's when they won 20 in a row to make the playoffs? That was crazy.
At the end of the season, right?
At the end of the season.
Yeah.
The great Mariners with their, 116 wins that year, 15 in a row. Yeah. The 2000 Braves, 15 in a row. The Twins, 15 in a row. And the 77, that was the 91 Twins, 77 Royals, 16 in a row. Interestingly, of all those 7, and obviously the jury's still out, but the season was still ongoing. Only one won the World Series, and that was the 91 Twins.
Very
when
interesting.
They ran off 15 in a row. So winning all those games in a row does not automatically win you a World Series. Nevertheless, a great stretch for the Red Sox, and they did it, with their bats finally waking up, because they definitely have had the pitching up and down, starters and mainly relievers, with the monster closer and Chapman, but their middle relief has been, to be coveted and wanted by many teams, and they've done a great job with the Whitlocks and Guerreros of the world that have held down the fort.
Well, we'll see if they can sustain it the rest of the way.
Yeah,
They're a good baseball
back
team.
in. I mean, the bottom line
they're a
is
good
for
team.
those Bo Sox fans or Bo Sucks, as I call them, they're back in.
I think we thought in the offseason they would be
Oh, my
better.
gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
and then they just
it's interesting
shit the
because
bed
this
early.
road trip, put the Rays up against two teams in their division, in the Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays, that everyone thought, well, these guys are going to be formidable. The Blue Jays should be great. They added to their pitching, but all their injuries, offensive woes. Yesterday we saw some defensive woes. That's back-to-back games that they've been kind of not playing great defense. They're probably arguably the most disappointing team in baseball.
Yeah,
could be, along with the Mets, has been the Toronto Blue Jays. It's a team that is still stacked. And I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday about the Blue Jays, and he's from Canada, huge Blue Jays fan. And he's saying, because remember I sent you my little text to you and Hamon about what's most surprising. Is it Tatis's kind of like weird season? Machado hitting 200, Cal Raleigh hitting 160, 60s. He does have 10 jacks. He did hit a big grand slam the other day. Or is it Vlad Guerrero Jr. with only 6 home runs and 0 home runs at the Rogers Center?
That's crazy.
No home runs at home.
A very hitter-friendly ballpark, too.
Even Tatis has a couple at least at home.
Wow.
I think they've underachieved, and I wonder, my friend brought up the point, can one player leaving cause that much commotion? Obviously,
What, with Bo Bichette?
When Bo Bichette left that franchise.
Yeah, I said the other day that they basically have the same team coming back, but they did lose Bo Bichette.
And
but they picked up a lot. Yeah.
Been hurt.
Yeah.
Some of the guys that they picked up. So yeah, guys are underachieving, obviously. Your Savage is not the rookie phenom that everybody thought.
Yep.
Things are catching up with them. Gossman is
baseball, man.
4-9, I believe. Yeah, baseball is so weird.
It's a weird game.
Because
we were saying
of
that
the length of the season and injuries. You're talking football, and it is around the corner. It's football season, and what you worry about most, it's interesting. You were talking about Bucky, and is he going to be 100%? And injuries matter, right?
Yeah, big time.
But they do in baseball too.
Yeah,
because people don't realize how many injuries, especially to arms, throughout the season.
Who else have they lost
hurt
from a pitching standpoint, Toronto?
I'll tell you right now, but they definitely have not.
But they had
Dylan Cease has been their standout, but
they had such a magical season last year. Everything went their way, and they're all and it just baseball things regress to the mean. They just tend to because it's such a long season.
Vlad Guerrero, if I'm not mistaken, I think he had something like 30 hits in the postseason.
Yeah,
like
incredible.
10 jacks.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't hit a home run at home since August of last year.
Yeah. How much of that is the contract, you think?
Man, I mean, yes and no, because the contract was signed the middle of last year.
Middle.
Huh? And he took that contract right into the postseason. Now I see where you're saying though, because now you settle into the contract and now you come into spring training. Oh, by the way, not only had a hellacious October, but he had a hellacious March too. He crushed at the WBC. So, you figured he was coming into the season. It was going to be Vlad's season. You know what I mean? But the loss of Bichette, pitching is almost everything to any major league team when you just aren't pitching to your caliber and also have injuries. But believe it or not, these are two guys that came up the ranks together. With storied dads as former major league all-stars.
True. Yeah.
Well, Dante, I definitely consider a super all-star. And then you've got Senior, who's a Hall of Famer. So they knew the gamut. They came up together. They won championship in the minor leagues, got up to the big leagues. A lot was talked about the fact that that he really wanted him to stay. I think Bo wanted to stay. He's not really playing well. Neither are crushing at either New York or Toronto. And it's an interesting loss by them. But the bottom line is that this is a team that is underachieving. The Rays need to take advantage of that. On the flip side, the Rays are back to winning ways. They hit a juggernaut Boston that was just beating up on everybody.
They were talking about a team that was on a roll and
Yeah,
everything going their
on a
way.
roll.
Yeah.
So
and they're a good team. They're a good team that underachieved early on, and now they're back probably where they should have been.
Where they should have been to begin with.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When you look at the depth chart, you've got Barrios is down. He's on the 60. Max Scherzer, not that you were expecting a whole lot from Scherzer.
Right.
He's on the IL. This is a kid that I think they were expecting, not a kid, but a veteran who ended up going overseas and was an MVP in Korea. Had a great spring. Cody Ponce is out pretty much for the season. They were expecting a lot from that pitcher, the big 6'6" kid.
Yeah.
So they just had a lot of guys that just been hurt.
But hey, listen, last night, another, the way Chandler Simpson and Mesa Jr. are kind of carrying this team, not carrying, but they've had great contributions in the past few games when maybe some of the big three have not.
Possibly carrying. Let me give you real quick, and we'll go into a little more on my show, but check out the last 15 games for the tremendous trio. Okay? The tremendous trio in the last 15 games, 335 batting average, 373 on base percentage,
not bad,
574 slugging, 947 OPS, 8 homers, 22 RBIs, 25 runs scored, 48 hits, and 10 stolen bases. Who is that trio?
Chandler Simpson, Mesa Jr., and who would be the other one?
Come on now.
Williamson?
Nope.
Who's the other one?
Nick Fortes.
Nick Fortes.
Having an incredible last 15 games.
I don't know if I'm going tremendous trio just yet, but
3 homers, 12 RBIs.
We still need a catcher.
I know, but listen, those 3 have held the fort down. Pretty much,
especially Chandler, 407 in July.
A new little. Listen, you got 5 homers from Mesa Jr. You got 3 from Fortes. You got RBIs galore, 22 RBIs, most of them by Fortes and Mesa Jr. Those guys have held down the fort. You know what I mean? And obviously, you get a little bit of something here and there from the DeLucas of the world, and from obviously Walls has been swinging the bat pretty well, especially in this road trip since the break. He's been almost getting a hit a game. You got to have that sometimes, because our real tremendous trio has not been real strong in the last 15 games, including Junior, who's holding down the fort for those 3. But really, Aranda and Yandy are going through a little spell, and that's to be expected. So you need those guys to back up your big boys, just like you need relievers to back up your starters.
Yeah.
And we're getting that a little bit.
All right. We just got these renderings. We have new interior renderings from the Rays. You could probably pull them up on your phone there, since you can't see this monitor. But let me see if I can add them to the picture. Here we go. Wow. Oh, wow. This looks freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. I just love the outdoor feel for this indoor ballpark. That they just absolutely nailed that concept.
Yeah.
Listen. Oh, and now we have a nighttime rendering of what it will look like with a strike of lightning. How about that? Because you'll be able to see the stars and the moon and the strike of lightning if it's out there. That'll be cool. And the size of oh my God, these video boards are just, and then the glass in center field will give that very much outdoor feel. Love that. Let me see this third one here. This is a bar scene somewhere. And this is what the Trop just really lacks, is the common areas that are so much a part of modern stadiums now.
Of course.
And where you can overlook the field from the bars and the restaurants, standing room only. You're not standing room. It's like being at a bar, but also overlooking the field. That's a fantastic.
Well, you got a canvas that you can work with now.
Yeah.
And also you have a commitment from an ownership group that came in super heavy.
Yeah.
Right. And they say, join us in this, quest to not build a $1 billion stadium. Let's build a 2-point-something $billion stadium.
Yeah. That 1.3 thing they were going to build in St. Pete.
Seriously, with that, would have been nice, but listen,
cheese ball
college. Universities are billing $1 billion.
That's right. I mean, Florida's putting 1.3 into their renovation.
This is in little old Gainesville.
Yeah.
And of course, they're a mecca of a college, football program. There's no doubt. They're still in the top.
The other the about these renderings is the fans are right on top of the field, man. It's going to be a really intimate setting.
It's going to be attractive to go and be a new Rays fan.
Yeah, it just the iconic part of the
old
stadium.
ones are going to they came to Steinbrenner. They'll go wherever.
Yeah.
That new one that is that kind of like, hey, I like baseball.
That transient young person that's flooding into Tampa right now.
It's going to be fun to go. Oh, and by the way, you got all this other stuff around the district.
Yeah.
I want to go spend a day there.
Hop on a trolley or a train to get there.
That's where this is going to differentiate. And I think that's the vision that these guys thought and saw. That definitely was not the vision of the past ownership. They were just trying to get a field.
Yeah.
They were just trying to get a stadium, which tells me that they were trying to get a stadium, and a few years later they were going to sell the team.
Yeah.
A la Jeff Loria and the Florida.
And when you're thinking that way and you're not thinking long term, that stadium is just going to be, these guys are invested. Here we go.
We circle back to it that the Marlins are a great example of something done half-ass. Great stadium.
In a shit location.
Didn't think about the locale.
And we got some renderings of the mixed-use project as well. Office buildings.
Yeah.
Wow, they just these
that
glass
does look cool.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that one building, the second picture.
Yeah.
With like the Jumbotron thing that's kind of connected to the two buildings. You see that one?
Hold on now.
You see this one?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's wild.
I don't know if that's a jumbo. It's just a glass office.
Oh, I didn't know if maybe it was selling
just a glass
advertising.
Yeah, ReliQuest is moving in right there.
Oh no, you're right. It is. It is a glass.
Yeah,
a glass office. Okay.
Yeah. So, but there'll be restaurants and bars, overlooking the stadium from the outside as well. I mean, mixed use office space looking over. I mean, come on, dog. This is going to be fantastic. So you can see this. It's all glass office building here overlooking the stadium. I mean, it's the address. That's where you're going to want to be.
I got to ask you a question about this.
And all these offices, these lawyer, attorneys' offices and everything, these are going to be season ticket holders walking across to the games. I mean, come on.
I got to ask you a question about this.
Great job, Timmy, getting this stuff, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I got to ask you a question about this. They've had this for a while.
Yeah.
Timing of unveiling this now per so much closer
votes coming up on the 20th.
So much closer to not only the vote, but like their feeling of like we're at the 10-yard line. We're definitely in the red zone, and we're actually at the 7 or the 8-yard line.
Yeah.
So they unveil this and go, we've had this. This is what we've been planning.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to throw it out there a month ago or 6 months ago.
Yep.
We're going to put it out there now and show you and tease you as to what we see, that we're pretty much at the final stretch. Give the ball to Allstott. Let's get it over the line.
I love it, partner.
Or Bucky.
All right, so we got a great show coming up.
Yeah,
Jason Michaels, we taped this the other day. A phenomenal discussion.
How interesting he was.
The best part about it is I don't say shit the whole time.
No, he's got great stories.
He's got great stories.
And talks, one of the things, and we'll talk a little bit before that we throw to that. One of the things that I appreciate, because he's dealing with amateurs so much, that he really gets, the preparation for these young guys.
Yeah.
And also on our show, for a few minutes, we'll talk about some of the signings the Rays have had and some other big boy signings off of the draft, including the kid Grady Emerson, Taj Marchant, which is another big signing by the Rays, another shortstop.
75 pitchers.
And a ton of pitchers.
Need arms. All right, partner. Great stuff. Timmy, great job. Our thanks to Dan Matthews from Houston, 790. Appreciate him jumping on. All the great comments. Sorry we didn't get to all of them. We got to most of them, so we appreciate you guys. Don't forget to sign up as a Peterman or a VI Peterman. And Bucs camp coming up. We'll have some extra shows for you. We'll have extra Big O shows and all that stuff for you guys.
Dougie the intern.
And Dougie the intern will do a show for you. That's what you get.
Just put him on the mic by himself.
Just let him go.
Let him go.
Let him riff.
Yeah, oh my God.
Let him riff it on.
That'd be actually dangerous.
It would be, yeah. People would pay lots of money for that. Or not. Or not.
It definitely would go viral.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. Big O show coming up in minutes.